What's up, everyone? What's going on? What is up? Just join the stream here, and we'll see what's happening. So, what are y'all up to this Saturday? No, is today Saturday? Today's Sunday. Today's Sunday. We have a lot of rain in the forecast for the Bay Area coming up this week, guys. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be windy tomorrow. But looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we got rain every day, yo. Of course, that may change up a little bit, but right now that is what it's looking like. Today, looks like we got an 80% chance of rain at around 1 p.m. We got an 80% chance of rain. That could change. You know, it could come earlier, it could come later. But yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got up in the Bay Area. That's what we got going on. So we got someone in the stream. What's up, AC? That as AC? That ass AC? Is that how you pronounce it? Good morning. This is like a random morning live stream. Let's see. Did I make this video like public? Because I don't see anyone in the stream over here. It takes a few minutes for people to join sometimes. Yes. How long have I been streaming for? You know what I need to do? I think I need to refresh this. Yes, there we go. I see more people in the stream now. Biden is too weak to run America. Good morning, Jermaine. Hope all is well. Oh, thanks a lot, Robert. Yeah, all is well. I'm just, taking it easy so far. Yeah, today. Just woke up about an hour ago at the hotel. It's fun being here. It's quiet. Yeah, it's peaceful. I like it. I'm digging it. How about you guys? What are you guys up to today? Like I said, there's rain coming today, and we got a lot of rain coming this week. Looks like tomorrow it may not rain, which is kind of cool because it's Monday, we get one day of no rain. But yeah, this is early for a Sunday morning. Yeah, this is early for a Sunday morning. Yeah, this is like a random stream, I may not even keep this one like on. I may just like, just do it randomly and then that's it, Because sometimes I have streams like that where like I just do it randomly and that's it, I don't keep it up. What do you think about AMC stock? It has definitely AMC stock has definitely ran up quite a bit. I'm not really jumping into AMC because I think that people aren't going to return back to movies the same way that they once did. Sorry, I had a dry throat. Yeah, I don't think people are going to go back to movies like they once did. Now, if you're trying to make a quick buck, maybe you can make a quick buck. Trading a what is this? AMC. If you guys don't know what AMC is the movie company. They're the ones that they own like tons of movie theaters all around the country. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely a stock I'm not really looking to put money into like long term. Maybe it could be a like a quick hustle play, or maybe it could be something you can short, but like a long-term play. Me, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't look at it for a long-term play. What's going on, David? Digging the huge microphone. Oh, thanks. Zuma. Zuma is good. ZOM. I actually traded ZOM. I made about $1,100 off of that. That's one of the penny stocks that I jumped into. That I didn't want to tell people that I jumped into because I didn't want people to get into it to try to make a quick buck. Just getting into it just to make a quick buck. Like I didn't want to lead people in the wrong way. So that's why I didn't like say the name of the companies. I think in a live stream, someone called me on the phone and I said the name of the stocks. And I kind of forgot I was on a live stream and I said the name of the stocks, but like it's different context than me like going online saying, "Hey guys, it's this stock and that stock and that." You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. Good morning from the TL. TL in the house. What's up, TL? Yo, good morning from Soma. I'm just right across the market, South of Market on you, yo. TL, what's up, TL? That's what's up. From the financial district. Your mic is right. So I can hear you drink water. Yeah, I know you can't hear me drink water. It's kind of crazy, right? You can hear me drink water, yo. It just sounds like it sounds like it sounds like this. That's what it sounds like. um and be in geo stock. So I missed out on that one. I saw a lot of people making videos pumping be in geo. I saw a lot of people pumping that stock, and it was one of those stocks I was looking at, just like maybe you know buying 1,000 shares and seeing what happens. This was about a share, which would have been $4,000 to buy 1,000 shares. Like I was just looking at it, but I was like, I don't know. That's kind of like a gamble play. But that stock is definitely did pretty good. It's did really good actually. I actually kind of wish I would have got those shares. Mm, where's the 420 at? What do you mean? Where's the 420 at? You should be more on the Discord chat. I should be right. I should be. I guess I'm not on there as much. Like I do respond. I guess I'm not on there like all the time. I've noticed that like people kind of spam on there. I forgot that. I forgot about that. People can definitely spam on there. That's one thing about having one of them chats or even a Facebook group. Like you just got people scamming. What do you do for a living, Jermaine? Are you a professional investor? I'm not a professional investor. No, I mainly just make YouTube videos and work for apps. But with the pandemic, it was working for the apps quite a bit, and then now I'm just sort of making YouTube videos for the moment. That's kind of what I got going on. That's pretty much what I do. And just last year I had some really, really, really good luck with the stock market. And it really, really brought some serious returns to my account. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people had the same sort of success. Like if you just held stocks or if you just bought stocks last year, like especially if you bought stocks like in March or April. You could have basically bought any stocks. Like you're pretty much up now. So it was just kind of like a really, really good year for the most part. This is just a really, really good year. Yeah, I'm super free spirit. I don't like to do the whole like normal 9 to 5 type thing. But another thing that you should turn on join feature for your YouTube channel. What is the join feature? Is that like people can join the live stream? That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Okay, so guys, the whole thing with me and stock market investing, Like, like I don't know. Like I used to invest. I used to like save what the $6,000 a year for the 401k because you get the tax benefit. So I was doing that, but I wasn't like just buying stocks like crazy. Like I was just doing it for the tax break, but I wasn't like buying stocks like I bought stocks last year. Like I bought stocks like crazy last year. Like basically like every time I got money, I would buy stocks. Because for one, like I couldn't travel, I couldn't go anywhere, I couldn't go to a freaking restaurant, couldn't go out, like can't, just like I'm kind of stuck in the city. So it's just like easy to buy stocks. And I was thinking how I work for different apps, right? How like one week I'll work for Uber Eats, and then I'll work for this app over here, and then I'll work for this other app, and then I'll work for this other app. And I was thinking like a couple of years ago, I was thinking like how dope it would be if I like put money into these apps just put money into these apps, like put money into them, right? And then pick good stocks, like gonna go up in value and stuff, right? And then within like 4 or 5 years, or not 4 or 5 years, maybe in like 10 years, like I can just go to these apps and like live off of these apps, just like I was living off of like going to the app, using the app to work, and then getting paid off of the app. In 10 years, I want like some of these apps, these investment apps to just be paying me. So that's sort of my vision for it. And if you gotta have that vision, you gotta work in that way. So like that's why I was like buying hella stocks last year and like putting stocks in these apps and putting stocks in this and buying that. And yeah, no like subscription paid. I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that. Yeah, I could do the deal. That would be pretty cool. Maybe I'll look into them because that will give me a little bit more. It's definitely a different stream of income for the YouTuber, and yeah, that would be pretty cool. Good morning. Good morning. Whoa, can you guys hear me? Mm, because I can't hear myself anymore. What about now? You said barely. What just happened, man? Something just happened. Hello? Hello? What are you having for breakfast? I don't know what just happened. Maybe my headphones died? Testing? No. Yeah. I don't know. You said the mic is off? It's not raining in San Francisco yet. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know what just happened. Maybe I'll charge the headphones really fast. Dang, that just cut off on me. Okay, so I can totally, if you guys can hear me, like I can totally do the live stream without the headphones, but it's just a little weird when I do it without the headphones because I just can't hear my own audio. I can't hear if I'm like too loud or too close, or if I'm like if I have the headphones, I could hear that I sound good right now, and then if I like ever move like this, I won't be able to hear that. Like I won't sound so good on the microphone. But if I know I'm right here, I know I'd sound good on the microphone. No, it's not. Oh, is the mic off? Let me see. I'll cut this off. Oh, is the mic off? Let me see. I'll cut this. Yeah, I think the mic is off for sure. Huh. Okay, what about now? We can hear you. Should be good now, yeah? It should be good now. I think it's back on. Should be good now, yeah? It should be good. No. I think it's back on. I don't know if it's on or not. Like, I really don't think it doesn't sound like it's on. But it says it's on here, so I can't hear it in the headphones. I'm going crazy. Oh, the mic is not on. Well, because the mic is not on. The one with that. But we can still hear you. Okay, you can still hear me. Cool. I can just do the video like this. What's up? Breakfast. I haven't had anything for breakfast yet. I think maybe I'm gonna go meet up with my girlfriend and we're gonna have breakfast or something. But I haven't had breakfast yet. No. I have some hotel food over here I can have. You guys want to come to a subscriber meetup? Should I do a subscriber meetup really soon, guys? You guys talking? You guys chatting in the stream? What's up with my mic? It just like cut off. Like I have so many mic problems, yo. That's why I can't be a professional YouTuber. Okay, is that back on now? Testing. Testing, No, it's not working. All right, that's cool. No, it's not working. What else am I gonna do? All right, that's cool. Oh, I gotta kill this. You can hear you fine. Post-COVID meetup. Well, people have been asking me about meetup. That's why you don't mean them friend or their friend. I guess so. We can hear you on speakerphone. Oh, you can hear me. So, I mean, I'm filming this on the iPad Pro, and the iPad Pro has really good microphones, actually. I mean, it doesn't have a microphone like a microphone like this one, but it picks up audio really good on the iPad Pro. So, what are y'all up to today? Anybody doing anything cool? I didn't really plan to do too much today because of the rain, you know? Are you from SF or SF is just where you live? SF is where I live. I'm not from SF. I'm originally from Tennessee. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. And I moved to San Francisco about 7 years ago now. I was living down in Santa Barbara for about 5 years. And before then, I was living in Memphis. But I've almost been living in California for 11, 12 years now. The one and only good shit for road trips or cycling. This is how you can see the rider. Oh yeah, I guess so. He's from Memphis Tigers. I actually grew up like really close to that neighborhood, like where the Tiger, where the university is, the University of Memphis. I grew up really close to that neighborhood. I went to a lot of the bars in that area, actually. I believe I went to a lot of these bars before I was 21. I was like 18 getting wasted in all those college bars and stuff. It's pretty awesome. I had a lot of college friends when I was like 16, 17. So it was I grew up a little bit different in Memphis. I grew up really fast in Memphis, yo. Like really fast. Like I hung out with like all my friends were like older than me for the most part. So I grew up pretty fast. It was pretty cool. When will you ride through hate? I went through hate like twice in the past week, yo. I've been going through hate quite a bit. Yo, it's 6:22 p.m. in Turkey. Yo, I've been thinking about going to Turkey. That's another place. I don't know if are they still letting Americans in? I think they're still letting Americans in. That's another place I've been thinking about going to. Turkey would be fun right now, yo. Especially some of them islands. It might be a little cold in some cities. 1 second. I got these chocolates from Trader Joe's like 3 days ago, and I just really want to try them. So we're gonna have one of these for breakfast. And these are vegan, by the way. What online broker do you use for trading? I've used a bunch of online brokers. I use Robinhood is pretty much the main broker right now. Robinhood and Chase. Because with Chase, I have a retirement account, and that one's just growing like a wildfire because it has a lot of Tesla in my retirement account. So, the main two are Tesla and Chase and Robinhood. But then also, let's not count out Webull because Webull, I bought a bunch of Blink charging and like Webull is like a pretty big account for me now, you know. And just because Blink charging went up so much in my Webull account, so I use quite a bit. Like some stocks you can't get with all brokers, by the way. For example, I own 1,000 shares of very, very good food company. And you have to use Charles Schwab to buy that, or you have to use Fidelity, or you have to use something else. Like you can't use Chase, and you can't use Robinhood, and you can't use Webull to buy a very good food company. And also Planet 13. I have 1,000 shares of Planet 13. Once again, that's another one that you can't buy on Robinhood or Webull or those other apps. You have to use like a Charles Schwab type broker, you know. Love me some Tudors. No bacon and eggs. No bacon and eggs, brother. Mm-hmm. You mentioned rent prices are stabilizing in SR now. Who do you think is moving back? Is it all tech maybe, or is it all tech, or maybe a new demographic? I definitely don't think it's tech moving here. I definitely don't think it's tech moving here. What I think is happening is it's just maybe it could be people moving back to the city. People who moved away 5 years ago because prices got so high, and maybe you got displaced, right? And you were paying $1,500 a month at rent in this place, right? And then you got displaced, and the cheapest place that you could find, like in that neighborhood that you were living in, is like $2,500. So what do? Like you just say, okay, I'm gonna go live somewhere else. So you leave the city and you go live in like Oakland, and you go live in Richmond. You just go leave the city, right? Well, now since these prices have come back down, you have some of these people that that moved away. Now they're looking at moving back. So I think that you have some people maybe moving back. I mean, these once again the prices have stabilized. I want. They're not necessarily like going back up like that, but like they're just kind of like not doing this anymore. Because I remember like a couple months the rental prices was doing this. It was like every month it was cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. It's not like that anymore. Like it's not cheaper and cheaper and cheaper anymore. And I think people have this illusion that like it's just gonna keep going down and it's gonna keep going down and it's gonna keep going down and no, that's just not how it works for a very like affluent city, a city that's on the map, a city that is known around the world. Like it doesn't work that way. Like it doesn't work that way. Like the bottom is a lot closer than you think, you know? I've known you since you uploaded your trip to Turkey videos. I like your channel. Cool. Do you like country music? Um, I'm not against country music, but I just wouldn't like just cut some country music on, you know? If you're not caught up with friends, go if you're a friend this weekend, it's to go skateboarding. Yes, it's freezing to go cold. It's freezing to go skateboarding. It's freezing to go skateboarding right now. No, so I'm not. I stayed at home last night because I wanted to. Okay, I love spending time with my boo, but I just want to spend more time at home. You know, like I love being here. I love being at the hotel. My partner doesn't like the hotel. My partner says it's not very homey, and you know, like I definitely can see that. Like I'm definitely not disagreeing with that statement that it's not homey because it's kind of not homey. Like there's no artwork on the wall and it's not very personalized. It's kind of like I kind of have it looking like a hotel, you know. Like I don't, I have it very like simple and very organized and very neat, you know. But I love it. Like I think it's cool, and I also like the location. I like being downtown, and you know, I just want to spend more time like in my place because I like it. Like I like my bed. I like my bathroom. And I like my heater. I like waking up in the middle of the night and like I gotta pee. And then I end up staying awake for like 3 hours, you know, and I'll go walk around the hotel at like 3 a.m. in the morning. You know? Like I love it, yo. Like I love like going out on the rooftop and shit. Like I'm just out chilling like it's my hotel, you know. I love hanging out in my lobby. I love like being a security guard running the homeless folks off. Like I mean, I just like doing it, you know. Like I love being her, you know. And it's cool. Like I like them a lot. Like I like her, them a lot. But I just kind of want to be at home more, you know. And it's cool, you know. Like I still visit, you know. We're still visiting, so. But I just want to be in my hotel, you know. I like it here. I mean, it's the coolest place I've ever lived. I think so. I mean, you know, hands down, like coolest place I've ever lived, yo. Like I love it here. Like, and I've lived in some freaking mansions, yo. Like I've lived in some big pretty ass houses, yo. Like really nice kitchens and like dope bathrooms, waterfall showers and shit. I lived in this one house in Santa Barbara. It had like a shower head here, shower head here, shower head here, a shower head here, shower head here. And you would get in that shower, man. That shit feels so good, man. It's just like swimming in the pool, you know. But I like the hotel better than all those freaking houses, yo. Like this hotel is legit. This is a good hotel. I lived at this house in Twin Peaks. It's huge ass mansion here in San Francisco in Twin Peaks, like way up there on top of them hills, you know. This is a dope house, yo. I lived there for like a month. Super cool. But it was like a temporary short-term rental, you know. Tech companies are moving to Texas nowadays. Yeah. You know, they pretty much are moving to Texas. Or just somewhere else other than California. I rented my one bedroom at $2,150 a month in August. Now the same unit is renting for $1,650. Okay, so what happened with that is landlords were smart. They knew right around August you got to raise the prices because you're gonna have students come in. So right around that time, the prices were higher. They were higher because they knew that like students were gonna come in and they were gonna sign these 1 year leases, and they know students are the type of people that are gonna. I'm not saying that you're a student, but maybe you came around the time that students come around, and landlords know that like they're not gonna be looking like local people are gonna be looking like someone that's already living around the city. Because someone that's already living around the city, they may just go look at like 20 different places. Someone who is like a student or someone who's just coming to the city quickly, they may be just like short on time. They may not have the freedom and flexibility to look at 20 different places. They may call up 3 different places and check out the first one and just take it, you know? So landlords know to raise the prices around that time. And then right after August, that's when you see this. Ooh, because really no one else is really moving to the city because like the students have already moved in, and that's kind of how it works, you know. What's your favorite vegan story in the city? Um, I would say my favorite vegan restaurant right now is going to be. It's probably going to be Golden Era right now. Reno is getting gentrified just like SF. I would imagine. I would imagine when the stock market bubble pops, are you gonna sell off or are you staying in the game? Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the game. I mean, I'm so deep in the money on Tesla that if the stock market dropped 80%, I'd still be up hundreds of percent on Tesla, you know? So yeah, I'm in it for the long run. You know, I don't have any plans on selling. I think that there will be a correction in the stock market. I think there's going to be a big correction with the penny stocks. I think we're probably going to see something like that really soon because right now the penny stocks are getting promoted and pumped like crazy. And I think we can see a correction with those pretty soon. That's why I'm not really talking about penny stocks and like not promoting penny stocks because if it's too fast, if it's too fast to make money, you know, it might be too good to be true. You know, when is it gonna slow down? When is it gonna crash? What did GameStop? Yeah, I don't know what happened with GameStop. Like that's one stock that like it just shot up like out of the blue. I remember looking at GameStop and it was like a $2 chunk, you know, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it definitely went up. I won a housing lottery, went through 3-month application, was approved, picked out my 1-bedroom apartment, only to have the rent double from the advertised affordable rent. It doubled from the advertisement. Why? Because why did it double? Why did it double? I'm just curious, but why would it double? What would make the price go up? There needs to be a correction. Yeah, there needs to be a correction, but like a correction what in the EV space? Like now since 46 is president, looks like the EV space is looks like the EV space is only gonna grow, you know? There's going to be this infrastructure bill passed, and there's going to be charging infrastructure, like in that infrastructure bill. So there's going to be like more charging built out, probably on like freeways and stuff like that around the country. Yes, we are. You waking up to a string, real estate, selling, owning, renting is very shady in SF. It's very shady. I think it really depends on what type of real estate renting you're talking about, because going to some of these tenderloin neighborhoods can be very shady renting. Yeah, it's like you call up the phone, right? You talk to Jim, okay? Jim asks you a couple questions, and then Jim gives you Chris's number, right? Chris, you call him, he asks you a couple of different questions, and then Chris sets you up an appointment with Julie, right? You actually go out and you actually meet Julie, right? Julie shows you the place, right? You want the place. Julie runs your background check, and then you pick up your keys from Frank. You know what I mean? That's how it works in the TL a lot. Like, there's all these different people, right? But when you come to like some of the newer buildings, it doesn't work like that. Like you go to the leasing office, which is downstairs. They show you, oh yeah, we got these units. You can go upstairs and see them. Like they don't even walk and show you the units. They just let you go and roam around the building. And then when you want to go move in, I mean, they just make it like really easy. Like you just talk to the same person. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna run your credit. We're gonna do this. This is the deposit. This is the down payment. You can come back tomorrow if you're moving truck. We'll have the keys ready. Like they for real make it so easy. But some of them places in the TL, you be going through the whole mafia just to rent a studio. You know what I mean? Like it's rough, yo. Jeff Brown predicts that there will be a 92% tech meltdown. What are your thoughts? Oh no. I don't think there's going to be a 92% sell off. Oh no. No, that's just like saying, no, it's like, come on. That's basically saying all the stocks are going to go to zero. Maybe 50%. 50% sounds very 50% sounds very believable. Yeah. Maybe 50, possibly even 60, but like 92%, like that's just a little too. No, I wouldn't worry about 92%. I mean, 50% would actually be pretty nice. Like I wouldn't mind seeing a 50% drop. Like, cause I'm not planning on selling anything soon. Like I don't have any plans on selling Tesla. Like for well, I got another 7 years done with Tesla. So if it drops like 40% right now, so what? Like I can buy. I should be able to buy more shares of Tesla. If it dropped 50%, I can buy more shares of Tesla at 400. So if it dropped, you guys are talking about a stock market correction, but like, do you realize that a stock market correction is not as bad as people make it out to be? Like a stock market, like right now, people want the real estate market to go down so that they can buy a house, right? So they can afford to buy a house. There's so many people in San Francisco that want the real estate market to go down just so they can buy a freaking place. So a correction is not necessarily bad because, like I say, if a correction happened, like I would buy more Tesla. Like that would be an opportunity for me to buy more Tesla. So like I kind of want a correction to happen. I kind of do, and I know a lot of people maybe they want a correction to happen because maybe they don't have any shares of Tesla and they want to get Tesla at a cheaper price, Or maybe they just don't have any shares of Tesla and they want all the people that have shares of Tesla to be upset because the prices are low. But I don't think that'll necessarily happen, because I think if the prices drop, a lot of Tesla shareholders will be happy. The ones that'll be upset will be the ones that just bought it at $600, at $700, at $800. But if you bought Tesla at $54, like that's my average price is like $54. I mean, it can drop $600 and I would still be up hundreds of percent. So, that's me. Now, someone who, like I said, someone who bought Tesla at 700, completely different story. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really worry about these crashes so much, because if it crashes, like, I'll just buy more into it. I'll just buy more into it. Correction implies that things were overvalued anyway. Well, yeah, no, a lot of people already think things are overvalued right now. I live across the street from 2 parks and 2 blocks from Safeway in the Bay Waters. It's like living in paradise. Oh, you like it? A correction in the market now would open doors to new investors. It would also make a lot of people leave the market too. It'd make a lot of people leave the market. I've been in the stock market like ever since I was 18 years old. Ever since I was 18, I've been in the stock market, and I've noticed this year in 2020, last year, but 2020, I noticed a lot of new people got into the stock market. And the only problem with that is, like, when all these new people get into the stock market, they're getting into it when it's good. But when things get bad, like, what do you think a lot of these new investors are going to do? If they lose a lot of money, they're going to be like, look, the stock market was a scam. And the stock market's not a scam. Like, it's totally not. Like, especially if you've been in the market for, like I say, like, I've been in the market for 15 years now. And it's not a scam. And penny stocks that you see people on YouTube talk about, then the stock market is a scam for you, because you listen to YouTubers that told you to buy penny stocks, because, oh, yeah, this one has a 10x potential. This one has 100x potential. 100x potential? And I haven't even heard of this stock? I mean, it could go up, you're right, but it also could go down to zero. Mm. Someone who bought one share of Tesla, and that be the stock split is good regardless. That's very true, because that one share will turn to whatever that stock split is. And before it was a 5-to-1. Who knows what it'll be next time? It may not necessarily be a 5-to-1. It may be a 4-to-1. It could be a 6-to-1. It could be a 2-to-1. It could be they let their stock price go all the way to like $3,000 a share, like Amazon is. Like, I wonder why Amazon haven't split their stock price. Like, I just wonder why haven't they did it, because if Amazon split their stock price, like, I would buy into Amazon. But one reason why I don't own any shares at Amazon is because one share is so expensive. That's why I don't own freaking any Amazon. Of course, you can buy fractional shares, but I don't want to buy a fractional share. Like, I want to get a whole share. Good morning, Jermaine. Could you speak on that bill that would kill SF? What bill that would kill SF? Like, what is this, a new bill that you're talking about? What do you mean a new bill that would kill SF? Like, how would it kill the city? Like, what do you mean they would have to? Would it tax the people to death? Would it? I'm very curious here about this. What caused the Great Depression? If and a real one, real world. Bond stock on margin. What do you mean bond stock on margin? But actually, there's data out there that shows that margin debt is not that high. Yeah. So it's not that many people buying margin on debt, the stocks on debt. And then also for all of my accounts, I'm using like very little margin. So I don't know why you are lecturing me about margin. Maybe you are upset because I'm using margin. Because some people look at people using margin as cheating in the market because they're using money that's not theirs. But how you think people get rich? Like how you think companies, like how you think they get rich? They use money that's not theirs and they invest with that money and they make money off of that money. Like that's just the name of the game, you know? So what if you don't like margin? I like margin. I use very, very safe levels of margin, by the way. Like very safe levels of margin. Like, do I need to like ban you for lecturing me about margin? Like, come on here. Like, back off. I love margin, just like I love my credit card. I'm not gonna stop using my credit card just because Dave Ramsey doesn't like for people to use their credit card. I mean, believe me, I'm not the type of student that just listens to everything the teacher says. No, I don't listen to everything the teacher says. I listen to everything the teacher says, and I think critically. I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna do this. She says do that. I'm gonna do this because I want to do this. Right? I'm I'm capable of critical thinking, yo. Like that's kind of how I see it. But what about this bill that we kill ourselves? What's your favorite part of our city? We love to watch you do shortcuts through the buildings. How did you get to learn that over time? Just being in the city over time, you know, just making deliveries. That's how I got to learn the city. That's how I got to learn the city. If you want to learn San Francisco the way, like I know San Francisco, you have to work for one of the delivery apps, one of the food delivery apps, because those apps will send you all over the city. Like bottom line, those apps will send you all over the city. And that doesn't just apply for San Francisco. That applies for anywhere. Like if you move anywhere, if you work for apps, those apps are going to send you to places that are going to wow you. You know, even in New York, I've worked for some of the apps, and I got to go to some pretty cool, interesting buildings, and I'm just like, wow, you know, this is a pretty cool view from the 40th floor, you know. So yeah, like sign up for some of the delivery apps. You get a really good taste of the city. I'm not lecturing, just thinking out loud. Apologies. I use my credit as well. No, so like I wasn't Eugene. I wasn't like trying to lecture you. I wasn't trying to come off on you the wrong way. The reason why I kind of went off the deep end because people talk about margin a lot, like in the comments, like they always like talk about me and margin, and like I kind of just disagree with that because, like I say, like I have very safe margin levels, like very safe margin levels, and you know, if I was up to 100% in my Robinhood account on margin, I could totally understand why you would say something. You know, because I would never recommend anyone to use 100% of margin. Like I would never recommend anyone to do that. Like you're just way too close to a call. You know, if the markets go low, my rule of thumb is to use less than 25% of margin. That's my rule of thumb. And I'm not always at the 25% mark, you know. I don't just check my account every single day. Oh, did it go up? I'm gonna increase it, you know. Sometimes the market goes up and I'm like, oh, I can add $5,000 to it, and I don't, you know. And then it goes up, and I'm like, okay, I can add $10,000 to it, and I don't. So, and then just recently, I just updated it, but I'm not using all of it. I think I'm using. And then Robinhood is the only account that I'm using margin in. So none of my other accounts are using margin. That makes a difference too. Okay, so right now, my rule of thumb is to use 25% margin. So right now I'm using 20% margin. So that's even lower than my rule of thumb is 20% margin. And who knows, the account will probably, once I hit like 150,000, that's when I'll increase it to 25% again. And we got a long way before it hits 150,000. We got like $50,000 to go. And then that's the next point where I'll increase it to 25%. Like that's very safe. Like any financial advisor is gonna be like, yeah, that's pretty safe. Like that's pretty safe. Now once again, I don't recommend people to, use. I wouldn't. Okay, if you just get a Robinhood account, I wouldn't recommend you automatically start using margin. Like that's not what I would recommend. But since I'm talking about it, I'm pretty sure people are gonna be like thinking, oh, maybe I should be using margin. You know, I'm not really trying to influence people to necessarily use margin, but if you're nervous about people using a lot of margin to pump up the stock market, like there's data out there that shows that margin levels are pretty much about the same. Like they're pretty much at normal. They're not like really high, meaning that lots of people are taking out margin and investing it into the stock market. So people in the chat forget that watching a girl, man. I agree. Walking in the city, you have to get out of your car. Yeah, you definitely have to get out of your car in the city. And then you'll just go to certain places where you'll just have to get out. You have to like walk up some steps. You'll be like, crap, I gotta park all the way down here. I gotta walk all the way up there. You'll go to places like that, and you remember those places. You remember not to go back. Hi, word to the wise. 555 California does not allow deliveries of app food past the podium. You'll have to wait in the lobby for a desk worker to pick up. Long delays, confusion. Okay, so 555 California, I made a lot of deliveries to 555 California. And one thing about 555 California is 555 California, that's actually a building I like to deliver to. I love to deliver to that building. Just because if I know I got a delivery going to 555 California, right when I get close, I'll call them because I already know they got to come downstairs. Like, I already know I'm going to be waiting downstairs for like 5 minutes. So I'll call them when I'm like, maybe 2 blocks away. And then when I get there, like, hopefully they're there already. I actually like dropping off at 555 California. That's a building I don't mind dropping off. In the financial district after 6 o'clock, they wouldn't let you go up in like almost any of the buildings anyway. And after 6 o'clock is when I got a lot of orders from 555 California. So cool. My guy Nashville is in my stream. Build your credit first. What do you mean build your credit first? Yes, I would say between 10% and 25% on margin gives you breathing room. Yes, it gives you breathing room. It gives you breathing room. And, another reason why I like the 25% market, let's just say the market drops like let's just say the stock market drops like a lot, right? Let's say it drops 50%, right? And I go to my Robinhood account and I look and like there's like 50% like of the money like gone, right? Well, that might be a good time to hit 100% margin if you think that it's gonna go back up. But how do you know it's gonna go back up? How do you know it's the bottom? You know, that's what you don't know. Like that's what's very difficult. Be careful using margin. Be careful using margin. Margin is not that dangerous if you know how to use it. It's a tool. You have to know how to use it. If you have a jackhammer, you know those big jackhammers that people use in the street to tear up the street. If you have one of those and you don't know how to use it, it's dangerous, yo. Just like if you don't know how to use margin, it's dangerous. So like it's a tool. You gotta know how to use a tool. You know, if you got a knife in the kitchen and you over there chopping some garlic, and if you don't know how to use that knife, you can cut your finger. So that knife could actually be dangerous. But most people don't look at a knife and think of a knife as dangerous, right? Because most people know how to use a knife. So if you are afraid of margin, just try to learn how to use margin, try to figure it out because like it's just like a tool. Stock auctions. No. Stop stock options, calls and puts, they're tools. You got to know how to use them. And when they say 99% of stock options expire worthless, I mean, that's facts because, like, everybody can't win, you know? It's a tool. You got to know how to use it. Yo. What's your Sunday spot for takeout? My Sunday spot for takeout, I used to like going to St. Francis Sir Drake. St. Francis. It's a St. Francis restaurant at 24th and Mission. Not at 24th and Mission, but it's like on 24th Street in the Mission. I used to like going there for the vegan pancakes, but they went out of business like for good, and they're not opening back up. So yeah, Sunday takeout. Like I would go to the vegan donut shop maybe, but yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't really have a Sunday morning takeout spot, you know. But like the vegan donut spot's really good. Sir Francis Drake. No, I didn't remember. I didn't mean to say Sir Francis Drake. I meant um Sir Francis soda fountain. Yeah. Jermaine, I'm texting you from Central Asia, Uzbekistan. Please visit our country. We'll be happy to see you here. I totally want to go to the stands, Uzbekistan, those countries up in the north, Turkmenistan, the stands. I would love to go to those countries. Definitely not now. It's really cold. And donuts are bomb. I mean, there's some pretty good donut spots. There's another good donut spot on 24th. I don't remember the name because I used to pick up there from Caviar. They had vegan donuts, but they had them basic vegan donuts. Like, just like Whole Foods had vegan donuts, but like the vegan donuts Whole Foods have are like mad basic. It's just like a dough cake with like some icing on it. It's not even a for real glazed donut. The other donut spot I go to, man, their donuts are legit, yo. But the vegan donuts are like 100. Yo, what up, Marcus? What's going on? Yo, are you feeling better? Like I heard that you had I heard you had the Wuhan virus. You feeling better now? You feeling good? You getting through? You hanging in there? Mm, donuts. There was this donut shop I used to go to growing up back home. It was like Howard's Donuts in Memphis. It's still there. I think it was on Mendenhall or something. It's still there. Yes, I'm much better, back to normal. Oh wow, that's good. You're much better. You're back to normal. Yes, people putting all sorts of stuff in the chat now. Somebody riding that one wheel. Yes, that looks like fun. Bob's Donuts on Poke. So Bob's Donuts on Poke is good, but I don't know if they have a vegan donut there. Bob's Donuts is good if you want to go like 24 hours. I don't know if they're still 24 hours, but they used to be 24/7. I heard that Wuhan back open up on the low. The Wuhan. When I said a Wuhan, I refer to the virus. Oh yeah, you got a cool so much coming from someone who owns a boosted board. They're fun to ride, man. They're fun to ride. They're different. The reason why I don't know, I just like skateboards. I'm just a big fan of skateboards. If it dies, you can still push it. You're in a different position when you're in a skateboard. Like you're in a position like this when you're on a skateboard. When you're on a one wheel, you're in that same position, but like I'm a skater. Like that's what it is. I like the skateboard. Yeah, carrying it is no fun. But carrying and boosted when it dies is no fun. But at least with boosted, or not just boosted, with skateboards, you can drag skateboards. And what I mean by drag skateboards, you can like drag it with the wheels. Yo guys, I'm gonna have some popcorn really fast. Yeah, I'm gonna have some popcorn really fast. Like, there's a microwave like down the hall. I'm gonna go stick this in the microwave. I'll be right back really fast. Um, I'll be back really fast. But yeah, I just stuck this in the microwave really fast. I have to call my boo and figure out what we're gonna do. Like, I want to go see her, but let me see if it's raining outside. Is it raining in San Francisco? So it's not raining. Since it's not raining, I think I might go and see her because she could make me pancakes. Good morning from Florence. Who's gonna win the playoffs? I don't know who's gonna win the playoffs. It's supposed to rain around 1 p.m. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to rain later in the afternoon. Where do you get the pants? My pants, people always ask me where I get the pants from. The pants comes from Zaffle. So Zaffle is it's an app. It's like a Chinese app, and everything comes from China. It takes a minute for the items to be delivered. It takes about a week, but it's Zaffle. I think there's a link in the description if I'm not mistaken. But it's Zaffle, and they have a lot of cool things. It's more popular for women than it is men. Yeah, it's more popular for women, but they sell a lot of stuff for guys on that. Like a lot of stuff for guys, and they have like jeans, they got shirts, jackets, shoes, accessories. Like they got some pretty hot stuff, you know. And the shipping takes about a week, you know. Must up North Cal to get hit with heavy winter snow. Yeah, I was looking at that. Oh my gosh, I was looking at a map, and yeah, we're gonna get a lot of rain here in San Francisco the next week. But yeah, so what? Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of rain. But the people in Northern California, like Tahoe, ooh man, y'all better go to Trader Joe's and better stock up. Y'all better go to Costco and man, better stock up, man. That storm is about to hit Tahoe like crazy, yo. Ooh, we about to just get rain down here. Can you live stream West Oakland? Please visit the Bottoms Cafe, West Oakland. You know. No, she said about to get hit hard. Everywhere's about to get hit. Bro, you should move him. What do you mean I should move him? Writing in the afternoon. I know you went to the UK. What was Brixton like? Brixton was cool. It was cool. You know, I want to go back to the UK. UK is fun, especially London. Lots of vegan food, lots of really good weed. I mean, easy to get around. It's very progressive. Like, I love the UK. UK is awesome. The food is just really good. I just read an article that the Muni Metro Market Street subway will remain closed until early summer. Unreal. Until early summer? Why? Like, why? You were in Tesla earlier. You are a millionaire, yeah. No, I think the stock that I'll probably become a millionaire on first is probably Beyond. Maybe if it goes up. Because my initial shares of Tesla at first were only 30. Right now I have like close to 300 shares of Beyond Meat. So I'll probably sell off some, you know. But if Beyond Meat does anything that, like, if it follows a move that Tesla has followed, like, yeah, I'll probably become a millionaire off of Beyond before Tesla. But I'm also not buying Tesla more and more. Like, I bought a lot of Beyond, you know, and I could have just put all that in Tesla. Have a good day, Jermaine. Gotta run. Oh, that's what's up. I bought weed from the bike shop guy when I was in London. Real easy, they don't go legal. I think they're going legal pretty soon. But you're right. It's very easy to buy weed in London. I remember once I was in London, because I've been to London a bunch, right? Once I was in London, and I was just walking around near the Brick Lane area, and this kid walked up. He was like maybe 20 years ago. Oh, he was like, "Yo, what's up, dude? Like, I seen you on YouTube like a couple days ago." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you doing here? Like, don't you live in California?" I was like, "Yeah." And we ended up like talking for like maybe 20 minutes on the street. And then he was like, "Yo, I'll show you around. Come on, let's walk and talk." So we started walking, and we went to this place. It looked like a cookie shop, right? It looked like it was a bakery. It had all these little red awnings and shit. It had this big gangster ass security guard outside, right? Which is kind of odd. Like, why would you have a big security guard outside of a cookie shop, a little bakery, right? Come to find out, it was like a weed dispensary there, like in the back or whatever. And it was underground. You can go in there and buy weed and like smoke. And it's this big open place, right? That's why they had the security guard. So I was hanging out with the kid, right? And we went to the first one, and they wouldn't let us in because I was with him, right? The security guard knew him, but the security guard didn't know me, right? And then he was like, "Oh, I know another place I want to take you to." At first, I thought it was a cookie shop, right? He didn't tell me it was a weed place, right? He didn't tell me until we got to the second place. And then we went to the second place, right? When we went to the second place, he was like, he kind of told me that. He was like, "Yo, we can smoke here. Like, it's like an underground type weed spot. It's our version of Amsterdam." So we go to this big metal gate, and he bang on the door. Boom, 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 boom. They open the door. We go upstairs, walk upstairs. There's another door. We walk up, bang on that door. Boom, 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 boom. You walk in, and there's like two dudes in this room, okay? And they're just like, what's up? What's going on? They were asking me like, where are you from? And I was like, they're like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I live in San Francisco. And they were like, oh, really? You live in San Francisco? What neighborhood? And I was like, oh, I live in the TL, yo. I'm just like backpacking. Like, I just got back from South Africa. I'm like going here. They basically just want to talk to you and like give you a little rundown, kind of get to know, like, make sure you ain't a narc or something like that. So like, once they figured out I was just like a tourist, they're just like, yeah, go in. Then we walked like right on the other side, and there's like all these people selling weed like out of backpacks and shit, like not even official. You can tell they just like showed up with a backpack and just set it up. And then there's all these people sitting in tables, just sitting around like smoking, and it's like picnic tables, and they're just sitting around like smoking and just having a good time, like talking. And I was like, dang, it's the spot right here, yo. And like we just hung out there for a minute, like it was pretty cool. Will there be more problems occur in SF and causing a recall of the major three? London breed? I don't know. I mean, since this is not working, I'm just gonna move this. We're gonna put this on the other side of the room. I wanna go sit over there. want to sit like over here. I want to sit like over here, like by the window. I love like looking out this window. I can't. I'm not gonna show you guys my view because I live here. It's not like I'm just here for a couple of days. Like it's like where I live. You know? It's like really cool tripod that I can put my iPad in. Dude, you touch up your hair? I did. It's like it was super tight for like a week, but now it's not so tight anymore. I interlocked my roots, which is probably not a good idea. But it's already done now. Tripod's off. There we go. Just fix the tripod. Who says gentrification is great? This is pretty cool streaming right here. Something like right there. City center is dead now. London is popular, however, people are leaving, 2 businesses closing, families cannot send their kids to school. The city's over, yo. City's over for a minute. You're right. People can't send their kids to school. And guys, just imagine if next year, just imagine if all this year, everything's closed just like it was last year. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, just look at China. They're having more cases already. They're already having more cases. How do you get up so early? Do you go to sleep super early? I went to sleep at like maybe 9 o'clock last night. I went to sleep super early. What's the strangest place you had to deliver to? Okay, once I had to deliver. It was like near 3rd Street, but it was like a garbage dump. I was on Scoot, and I remember going down this like long street. It was just like a garbage dump. It was kind of unusual. Gentrification is great. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all something. Like, I want to make a video, but like I don't want to lose half my subscribers. But I want to make a video talking about why I'm not a fan of rent control. So I think a lot of people would like hate me. Yeah, but I think rent control is bad. God, I think it is. Hi from London. What's been your favorite neighborhood in SF? Favorite neighborhood in SF is definitely the East Coast neighborhood. I hate rent control in public housing. You know, China's vaccine was only 50% effective. The U.S. has 95, has one that's 95% effective. The economy should open up by the summer ends. Hopefully, how make your hair? How make my hair? Crochet hook. Lots of time. I know many people that abuse rent control, and that's why I say that it's not so great. But it's not so great. And the problem with rent control is, think about this. Think about like, okay, when I first moved to the city. My ex-girlfriend picked out the place, right? So we moved to the city. When we met the landlord, not the landlord, but when we met the neighbor, the next door neighbor, the next door neighbor was like, how much are you guys paying for rent? Like, that's the only thing she wanted to know. And she wanted to know so she can know, like, wow, it's like that much more, right? But the problem, we were paying like $1,800, and I think she was paying like $750 or whatever. The problem with rent control that I see, the biggest problem with rent control is whenever the government gives you something, right? Whenever the government gives you something and they say like, okay, we're gonna give you food stamps, or we're gonna give you this, they're like just giving you that to just keep you there, right? They're giving you that to just like keep you in that situation. And with rent control, that's exactly what it's doing. For someone who is not progressing in life, they're probably gonna want rent control because like it's gonna help them. But over time, will it help them when they're paying $700 a month in rent? When back then, when they moved in, coffee was $1 right outside on the street. You could go down to the store and get, a little sandwich wrap for $2. Okay, back then when they moved in, okay, prices were a whole lot cheaper when they moved in, right? So now we move in, we're paying more money, we're making a whole lot more money, right? And we go down to the coffee shop and the coffee's $4, and we're just like, okay, yeah, it's $4, like no big deal. She goes down to the coffee shop and she's like, well, it's $4. It's gentrification. They want me out of here. Well, prices just can't stay the same forever. Like, bottom line, like, prices can't stay the same forever, And rent control, like, puts people in this situation where, like, you want to stay in the same place forever. But then also rent control does something else. A building owner doesn't really... A building owner is not, like, looking to upgrade the building when the building owner knows that they can't charge more money for the building, So why would I paint the building? Why would I fix the elevator when I know that I can't charge more money for you because you have rent control and you're not moving, That's the problem with rent control. And if you go look at the Marina neighborhood, Marina Del Rey, I want to say the Marina is probably a bunch of people with rent control over there. Finding a place in the city is so difficult. Sometimes 10 people show up to the same house rent control. Will not help out that. Well, 10 people showing up at one house, those days aren't going on right now. It used to be like that. But I don't think people are showing up 10 to a house anymore. One-fourth of SF voters are under rent control. Really? can that be? I thought a lot of people own houses here. Jermaine's version of the American dream. Well, my version of the American dream is like not to have everybody in rent control, yo. Like that means that my version of the American dream is everybody to have their own freaking house, right? Not have rent control. Because rent control means that you still don't own the place where you live. That's what rent control means. That means that you don't own anything. So if you own something that gives you breathing room, that gives you can refinance, you can go to the bank, you can change your monthly payments, you can get the mortgage forbearance, you know. So I mean, people in the city can definitely own stuff too. It's a little trickier. You may want to do the BMR program if you're not like a millionaire. House owner in Sunset in Richmond used to rent out illegal grandma units to students for $400 a month because they knew students will leave when they graduated no more. But you have to pay property tax forever. You never own it. Yeah, you do have to pay property tax forever. That's so true. With no rent control, people would move around San Francisco. Rent control not supposed to be a permanent program. Well, it's another reason why I don't like rent control is because, you know, sometimes when you give people an inch, they take a mile. You know, it's the same thing with Uber, right? It's the same thing with Uber, right? When Uber started, Uber wasn't supposed to be a full-time job. Like, it wasn't supposed to be you work 100 hours a week. It wasn't mean that you buy your new house with driving for Uber, you know? That wasn't what it was meant for, but people made it that, right? People made it their full-time jobs, you know? So you're always going to have people that, like, make it their full-time job. You're always going to have people that, you know, they invest too much money. They go buy a freaking really expensive car. You know, don't get me wrong. Uber Black, Uber SUV, that was a little bit different back in the day. You know, with the Uber drivers buying the Escalades and all that. That was a little bit different. But when you come to the when we talk about like just regular Uber, like Uber X, because Uber X is a little bit different than Uber Black. Uber Black, you need different insurance, you need different registrations. Like most people aren't gonna do the Uber thing. I'm on fixed income. I need rent control. Okay, so you're actually someone who probably actually needs it, right? You're actually someone who could probably benefit from it. But the problem is there's a lot of people that are in rent control and they don't need it. You know? That's the problem. And for someone like you, someone on fixed income, maybe rent control is not the best solution for you. Maybe there should be another solution for people like you know, like like a housing association for people on fixed income, you know. Rent control, good idea, not perfect. I know way more people that are using rent control to their advantage versus the people that I know who's benefiting from rent control. You know what I mean by benefiting from rent control? I'm talking about like they don't make enough money and they're using rent control and that's how they're making it is because they're paying less because they do have rent control. I know way more people who are making way more money and they can afford to live in multiple different places in the city. But the reason why they stay in that rent control place is because it's cheaper and they can save more money, you know. Like right now, I know someone who works at Facebook And he has a rent control unit in the Tenderloin. If I'm not mistaken, I think he says he pays like $1,100 a month for a studio. And he's been living there for like a long time though. The people never benefit. That's exactly why I'm not a fan of it. Because like the right people don't benefit. You know, and it might be a few of people, but majority of the people are not going to be benefiting. I mean, you can even go on YouTube and type in San Francisco BMR, like San Francisco BMR units. Like there's videos of people out there who have bought units, like BMR units, and they're renting them out, and they live like somewhere else. You know, so like that's someone who is using the system. You know. So what about when someone inherits property? That is how people with lower income stay in big cities. That's very true. It's very true. And what is wrong with saving money? Mm. There's nothing wrong with saving money. I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the guy from Facebook, saving money. There's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is, I mean, it's not really. The only problem is like that's someone that's using a system that anyone can use, but it's sort of kind of being abused, sort of, but then at the same time, maybe when he moved to that apartment, maybe he didn't work at Facebook. Okay, maybe when he moved to that apartment, maybe he was in college and maybe he was working at Starbucks. But then over time, he got a job at Facebook and he just never moved. It's 555 California, still for sale. Not that I know of. Why is it such? Moving to more affordable places in America is just not. It doesn't sound appealing. I'm gonna keep it real. You've been up all night. No, I haven't been up all night. Does it look like I've been up all night? $22,000 apartments in NYC that are in control. Really? It's kind of a lot. I mean, but there's a lot of apartments in New York too. My brother lives in a big apartment in NYC. He pays about $175 a month. What is scam? What do you mean? Yeah, minimum wage is going to be bad. We won't really notice it so much in California because the minimum wage is already high anyway. But in some of these states in the middle of the country, they're about to have a little shakedown. Mm-hmm. How much longer do you think you will stay in that stuff? I don't know. I really was thinking about leaving at the end of next month and go travel, but I have a partner, so I don't exactly want to take off and leave. Australia pays a higher minimum wage and they're doing fine. Yeah, but Australia, you can't compare Australia to the United States. Like, nope. You can't make that comparison because if you want to compare Australia to America, like check this out. California has what 40 million people, just California alone. Nowhere else, just California, like 40 million people, right? Australia has 23 million people, right? And you're trying to compare Australia to all of America. Like, no, that's not a good comparison. Nope, that's not a good comparison at all. You can't even compare Australia to half of California. So, that, yeah, that's not a good one. And then another thing about Australia has been greatly bought up by the Chinese. None of the young kids can afford to buy places in Australia. Like, I know I have tons of friends in Australia, and like a lot of them are way. Their numbers in Australia look like our numbers here in San Francisco. Basically, that's what their numbers look like in Australia. But it looks like that for the whole country, yo. Could you imagine all of America being just as expensive as San Francisco? That's Australia for you. That's Australia for you. Like Australia, they're really bad off. Like they really are. They're really bad off. Like with their whole system. Like those young people are really screwed. Really screwed. And I think what's going to happen, especially under the whole Biden-Harris administration, I believe the whole country, the whole U.S. is about to be like California. Because they're implementing California like laws and California rules and California culture. They want to integrate that into the whole country. Like me, someone who lives in California, I think that's a horrible idea. I think that's horrible. Like, I mean, California, we're a failed state, yo. Like bottom line, everybody's leaving. I mean, everything's too high, crime everywhere. Yeah, but Australia, yeah, you can't really compare Australia to California. I'm sorry to say, like, I mean, everybody lives in a freaking city in Australia for the most part. People, please Google the difference between rent stabilized and rent control. Yeah, there's definitely a difference. Hey, well, hey, what you up to? Question mark. What you doing? California isn't. California isn't imposing its will on the rest of the country. Minimum wage, rent, get control. Maybe not those things. Don't borrow money, and you'll be fine. What do you mean, don't borrow money? If minimum wage raises, yeah, I know. If minimum wage rises, I think other wages will rise. San Francisco used to be clean, respectable big city. I think it's still a respectable big city. I don't know about the clean part. I definitely don't know about the clean part. Some parts of California are in the center of this state, just like I don't like SF, the most overrated city. I think SF is the best city in America, honestly. I think so. I mean, we got views, we got tech, we got cool people. Jermaine, what's the number one thing you would change about SF? Number one thing I would change about SF is I would, if I could change something about SF, I would probably change zoning laws. I would change zoning laws so that people could build higher. So people can make taller buildings. I would encourage more construction of taller buildings in the city. That's what I would do. I would encourage like taller structures. You say SF has earthquakes, remember? Yes, SF does have earthquakes, but you know what? Japan has more earthquakes than California. Way more earthquakes, and they have much taller buildings in California. So, yeah. You say you would ban sleeping on the streets? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't ban sleeping on the streets because what happens if someone is drunk and they're partying and they fall asleep at a bus stop? Like, or what if a construction worker is working, right? And they want to take a lunch break and they want to just go to the park and just sit under the tree and take a 15-minute nap. Like, no, I would not ban sleeping on the streets. I understand that, like, people would set tents up, but I wouldn't necessarily be against that. It's not safe to sleep on the streets in the city. Yeah, it's not safe, but it's still something I wouldn't ban. No, it's something I wouldn't ban. No, because I feel that, like, I feel like that's just like if you want to sleep in the park and you're not homeless, or if you are homeless, like, I feel that you should be able to go sleep in the grass, and that should not be a problem, regardless who you are. Because once again, a lot of people, not everybody lives in the city. So a lot of people commute from like Oakland. So they come from Oakland, they come from Richmond. So they can't just go home like I can just go home. And what if someone just wants to take a big nap, a quick nap? How would you solve homelessness? You said if I wouldn't, like, you can't solve homelessness with that. You can't solve homelessness with that. I think the homelessness situation needs to come from the top. I think it needs to come from the top of the country. I don't think it needs to come from San Francisco. San Francisco is doing what they can do. I don't think all of the burden should just be on California, because once again, California is doing what it can do. California has a huge homeless problem, and people are just pointing fingers at, billionaires. Oh, it's Jeff Bezos' fault. Jeff Bezos didn't fucking get these people on crack and get these people on these streets. He didn't do that. Jeff Bezos didn't get these people evicted. That's just bullshit. Like, that's just people getting pissed off at someone who has more than someone else. These people got on the streets for other reasons, okay? But it needs to come from the top. It don't need to come from California, okay? It needs to come from the top of the country, because what's going on is Californians don't want to hear this. Californians don't believe this. But Californians are, let's just face it, a lot of Californians are naive, all right? I just said that. A lot of people live in California are fucking naive, all right? What's going on is whatever California do to the homeless population, other states are going to pay more attention than anyone in California. Whatever California do. Now, when California does something with their homeless situation, that's going to be California's taxpayers paying for that, right? That's going to be people living in California paying for that, okay? And this shit has been going on for years, right? California does this, they invest all this money, they do this. Well, it just gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, right? But you take your average person on the street, you can't tell them this because they can't see this. Like, only thing they see is it's Jeff Bezos that put these people on the streets. And it's Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. This is why these people are smoking crack. And it's Jeff Bezos. This is why these people are running into Target stealing detergent. You ain't even got a fucking washing machine. Why are you stealing detergent? But yet, You ask average people on the street, it's rich people's fault. No, 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 no. Whatever California do, these poor ass Republican states are gonna watch it. They're gonna see, look, California is doing this to the homeless people. And you know what these people in these Republican states do, right? And this happens in Democratic states too. Okay, let me take out the Democrats and Republicans. You know what these other piss poor ass American states do? They see California, right? They see California, you know, maybe there's an article, California is doing this to their homeless population. These people, they're driving around in their suburbs, right? They're driving around their big trucks, right? They pull up, they see a homeless person on the side of the street at the stop sign, asking for $1, right? Dude pull up in their big truck. You know, maybe they live in Texas, maybe they live in Iowa, maybe they live in Tennessee, maybe they live somewhere else somewhere else in America, right? They pull up in their big truck and they see this homeless person and they say, "Hey, look, you want to go to California?" And the person is standing there. They're just like, "No, I don't want to go to California." But then the person in the truck says, "I'll give you a bus ticket. I'll send you to California. I'll give you some money." You know, they're taking care of homeless people in California. This homeless person on the street go down to the fucking the Greyhound bus station, gets on a bus and goes to California. The person in the truck gives them $200. They're like, "Bye bye, get out of my community." Right? This is going on. Okay, and it's not just like random people doing it. It's cities doing it. It's cities putting people on buses, sending them to California. So your people in California, what do? They get pissed off and they get upset, right? And they say, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's because of the rent. It's because of rent. It's because they're charging so much in rent." Not all of these people on the street were ever living in these buildings. It's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Some of these people just migrated here. Some of these people got put on a bus. They got sent here. Some of these people just got sent here, yo. Like, not everyone was living here and they lost everything. Not every homeless person that you see walking around with 3 suitcases is that's not necessarily, you know, there's different levels to it, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. There's different levels to it, y'all. Not all Republican states are poor. No, 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 no. I'm not trying to say all Republican states are poor, but there are definitely some very poor Republican states. We don't necessarily have to name them, but there are definitely some very poor Republican states out there. I mean, why don't you look up a list of poorest states in America? And yeah, California is the land of dreams. It is the land of dreams, and that's how you can easily get. That's how you can easily get a homeless person that's standing on the street in Iowa in January. It's cold. That's how you can easily get them to get into a truck with a stranger. And you can easily get them to take $200. And you can easily get them to walk into the Greyhound bus station while that person driving the big truck is buying them a ticket. And right before that person leaves, that person goes across the street to McDonald's and that person gets them a freaking big value meal with a big old drink and, you know, gets some 4 or 5 cheeseburgers. And that person was homeless, looking for money. And now they're sitting in a Greyhound station about to go to California, the land of dreams. And guess what? They full. They got them a big bag of McDonald's and they got $200 cash in their pocket. And they were standing on that street corner for about 4 or 5 hours before the guy in the truck pulled up and stopped and offered to help them out. So they already made like $100 already. So they actually got like $300 in their pocket on the way to California. As soon as they get to California, guess what? They're gonna get dropped off at the Greyhound bus station at the Salesforce Tower, right? And they're gonna be at the Salesforce Tower. They're gonna be new. They're gonna be fresh to the city, right? And they're gonna be like, "Wow, god damn, this is amazing," because where they came from, you know, was like, you know, it was the suburbs. There wasn't no big buildings. There wasn't no people walking around. It was people in cars, people on the freeways. Like, you know, it wasn't all this like people action. It wasn't all this action going around. When they get here and they walk out on these streets and they be like, "Wow, man, they gonna fall in love with this, yo." Watch, and they're gonna be here, and then we'll just have another homeless person here. But then what those people in Iowa, what they really did was they really they really hurt that homeless person, because that homeless person probably had family in Iowa. That homeless person probably had family in that area. And maybe they got disconnected from their family a little bit, right? Maybe they got disconnected. But now they really about to get disconnected if they move into California, you know? So I don't know. I think it needs to come from the top, yo. Like, it's homeless people all over the country. It's all over the country, you know? It's all over, yo. I don't know. What y'all want to talk about now? Go survey the numerous people on the street and see how few met the example Jerem gave. Not even worth mentioning. So rare. People go where they're heard, not left alone. It's a messed up situation. You know, and I say San Francisco, but like it's a whole bunch of places in California, y'all. I mean, there's LA, there's Northern California. It's crazy, y'all. They be busting homeless folks cross country, and they ain't just statewide. Like, no, it's cross country, y'all. They be doing it. What up? What up, yo? Maybe that can happen under a Biden administration. You know, helping the homeless. But it's gonna have to be a statewide thing. How do you avoid COVID? Man, for the most part, I don't really worry about COVID that much. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, if I get the shit, I get the shit. If I die, I die. You know? If I live, hey, I'm gonna be living. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Like, you know, I know a lot of people are afraid. Like, I don't even really like to go on Facebook that much because I have a lot of friends that like live in the Bay Area. Some of them are so paranoid about the coronavirus. Like some of them are so freaking afraid, and it's like I would probably kill myself if I would literally probably kill myself if I was that afraid about it, or I would try to catch it so I can get it over with. You know, I heard the homeless moved to Hawaii. Well, that's another place where they moved to. That's another place where they moved to, yo. Biden is dragging his feet to pay the $1,400. I don't think Biden is dragging his feet. I think it's all of the people around him that's dragging their feet. What up, Alex? What's going on, Alex? Yo. Hey, did you guys hear about the lady? So, like, there's a lady that was out walking her dog in Russian Hill about 2 weeks ago. And it was like some fancy ass dog. Y'all know how these people be having these dogs that cost like $10,000 and stuff. It was one of those dogs, and she was walking it, and like three guys like, you know, beat her up and took the dog. And of course, this was something that they think that was planned. Like they were watching her, and they knew what they were gonna take, you know. And I was reading one of the articles, and they said that she left the city. Her and her boyfriend left the city, and they like never returned back. And I'm just wondering, like, so did they like just like did they get robbed and like go home and like leave the city and just like get someone else to move them away? You know, because shit like that has been going on. Like crime is getting crazy. Are you still trading stock on Cash App and Robinhood? I still trade stocks on Cash App. I don't really trade stocks on Cash App. I just have some on there. Like I'm not gonna add any more on Cash App, but I still use Robinhood for sure. How is putting all of those Alaskan pipeline people? Let me turn the $15 minimum wage is a job killer, but illegals will work for less under the table. So the $15 an hour job, the $15 an hour job raise, man, what that is, that's probably gonna push for more automation. Because think about it, McDonald's, now they know they gotta pay $15 an hour all across the country, right? And if they know they gotta pay $15 an hour all across the country, like the first thing they're gonna do now is get rid of all them cashier jobs, right? They're gonna get rid of all them cashier jobs and they're gonna replace it with machines. And McDonald's, for the most part, they don't even really need to replace it with machines. Because at Starbucks, when you go to Starbucks, like there's no machine, like there's the person there, which they could get rid of the person. But majority of the time when you go to Starbucks, you just use the app. So they don't need to invest money in all a big ass machine so people can come up and touch it, put coronavirus on the machine. Only thing they need to do is just have an app and just say like, look, if you want McDonald's, you use the app, and that way you use the app, and I'm pretty sure McDonald's is probably going to do that, and they're going to get rid of jobs. And when they get rid of jobs, guess what that's going to do? That's probably actually going to make them more efficient, and that'll probably actually push their stock price even up higher, I wouldn't buy a dollar for 10K. Man, these people be dying dollars for 10K all the time, y'all. Doesn't McDonald's have an app yet? Well, the thing why McDonald's, I think why the reason why McDonald's don't want to go ahead and just push it on an app like Starbucks is doing, is because McDonald's, like, I think they're a little bit older, of course, and they just serve like way more people, and they want to be more accommodating. So like if you don't have an app, or if you're an older person, or if your phone's dead, they still want to accommodate you. So that's why I don't think that they want to. That's why I don't think that they want to just be like, we just got an app. They do want the machine just in case, someone doesn't have, an app, or they don't know how to use it or whatever. Prices will rise slightly with a minimum wage increase. Yeah, but the thing is, we won't really notice it much in California because minimum wage is already high enough here. It's really going to be noticed in other states across the country. That's where it's going to be noticed. Okay, a place like Tennessee, right? They're going to feel it. They're going to freaking feel it like a lot. I would love to marry an engineer. Canada, McDonald's has touchscreens, monitors to place orders. Well, yeah, the touchscreen, they do have touchscreen monitors, but what I'm saying is, like, if they had an app, they could cut the costs out on that touchscreen monitor, because that touchscreen monitor costs money to build too, and keep running. And then it's something that you have to, like, with an app, you can just roll it out. It could just be like, update your app, But with a machine, they actually got to put the machine there. They got to set it up and all that. I'm drinking a Coca-Cola early in the morning. The dollar losing purchasing power fast. That's why stocks are going up so much. The touch monitor is super slow. That's why things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going up so much, because the dollar is losing power. It's okay if the dollar is losing power. I mean, other countries around the world printed money too. It wasn't just the dollar that printed money. Other countries around the world printed money too. Poor countries exposed by Bill Gates, while population control is going to. Dude, population control is just BS, yo. Like, I don't. And all these people talking about Bill Gates and how he is the largest landowner. But you know what people are not talking about? People are not talking about? People are not talking about how much things that the Chinese own in America. But yet they're talking about an American billionaire that just owns a lot of land. All right. But they're not talking about how, like, a communist country is coming here, buying up like our assets. They're not talking about that though. But they'll talk about Bill Gates. You guys, you need to watch who the message is coming from. You need to watch who the message is coming from, because they paint a picture like, Bill Gates is bad, and I'm not saying he's good. Definitely not saying he's good, but The Chinese Communist Party good? You know, the ones that's coming in and just, putting censorship on basketball players, and you can't talk about this, and don't say anything bad about China, and don't say anything bad about our president. Like, I mean, I don't know him. They will buy and sell. In the 80s, everyone talked about Japan buying everything in America. Question. That's very true. That's very true. Japan did the same thing. Japan did the same thing, yo, in the 80s. Japan did the same thing. Because I heard a lot of people telling stories about how in the 80s, like, you'd always see like Japanese people like in the city and like all throughout California just spending money because they were buying money. They're really rich back then. They were buying shit like crazy. But I don't know. Japan is a small country. It's a very small country. China is a much bigger country. Yo. That's the only difference I see. That's the only difference I see. My friend bought one of those condos first built in Mission Bay. She had no neighbors. People from China bought them and left them empty. Just yeah, I can see that. That would explain why that neighborhood is not busy. Why you don't see a lot of foot traffic in that neighborhood. Maybe because everything is sold, but no one lives there. You know. Pier 38 is open today. It'll be cool if you rode your skateboard there. What's Pier 38? Is that over there by the Uber office? Japan people from the 80s are now 80 years old. Plus, Japan was more westernized, and our allies, they're they aren't trying to take over the world, and they are pretty chill people. Yeah, the Japanese were definitely more westernized, but people were really afraid back then, and the Japanese were more westernized. The Chinese are not more westernized. The Chinese are they're their own genre. That's what they are. Like they're their own force. Like if you're from America, you're not really American. You're part of the West. If you're from the UK, you're not really British. You're part of the West. If you're Japanese, you're part of the West. But China is not part of the West. They're part of China. If you're African, you're part of the African diaspora. Yeah, Pearl Harbor. The East. Yeah, you're part of the East. That's what it is. It's the East, yo. It's not China. It's the East. Yeah. But yeah, no one's talking about that. Like when I see Bill Gates buying up all this land, it doesn't really makes me afraid. I just would rather see Bill Gates have it than some Chinese guy that I don't even know who he is. But then but I don't know. It would be a big difference. Like if Jack Ma owned majority of farmland in the U.S., he's Chinese. But if he owned majority of America's farmland, like I would think very differently of it. Like I would just be like, oh yeah, it's Jack Ma, but he's completely Chinese. Like what's the difference between him and some Chinese organization or some Chinese company? So the U.S. will look like Clement Street. No, the U.S. will not look like Clement Street. But could you imagine if the U.S. if the U.S. if the U.S. had more Chinese influence? Like if American businesses started to look more like Chinese businesses, and if American workers just became more Chinese workers, and you just didn't really see Americans as much here. Like I think that could actually happen. European countries were originally impoverished until the advent of advanced weapons and guns. Oh, The next found tool using your tax dollars to subsidize green energy you don't need. Yep, I think that's going to be a new one. Rob Fish. Yep. They are doing Alcatraz tours today, are they? I don't think so. It looks like it's going to be raining. Looks like it's going to be raining. Where's my boo? I thought she would be up right now. Maybe she went back to sleep. And the revolution sparked colonialism. Yeah, I guess so. Wow, guys, we've been streaming for a minute. I love the young Chinese people I work with. They're more American than Americans. Plus Chinese, that's what I thought, are more the stereotype. Yeah, that's true. Jermaine wants pancakes. I want pancakes. Americans need to learn Mandarin if they to survive. I guess so. Okay, boys and girls. I think it's about that time. Alright, guys. What does your boo do for a living? I don't want to say what she does for a living, but she has a job. She's like self-employed for the most part. Okay, so anyway, did you pay tax W-2 for receiving money on Cash App? Yeah, but all the money I received on Cash App was money from Caviar at the beginning of the year. Jack Ma trapped somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle. You think so? And what's up with this video of him appearing? Like, who knows? Was that video like made like a couple months ago? And then he's obviously being held somewhere, like against his will, you know? That's creepy. That's scary. That's a situation I don't not want to be in. It really sucks that you can't be a billionaire and still not have freedom. I know it's messed up. He's at Yunga. He at Yunga University. Is that in China? It's probably somewhere in China. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna end the stream because I'm gonna go do some stuff. I'll see y'all later. I love all y'all. Y'all have a good day. Make sure you don't get wet in the rain today because it's raining like crazy. Bye bye.